Good night, itchy eyes. Good night, sudden sneeze. Good night to your symptoms of allergies. Xyzal is the allergy medicine you take before bed. It provides powerful relief while you rest your head. Not just all night, but all the next day. Xyzal keeps working, keeping allergies at bay. And without those annoying symptoms disturbing your rest, you can wake up the next morning feeling your absolute best. Remember, be wise all, take Xyzal at night.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from all across the vast reaches of the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is doing fantastic on this fine Tuesday morning, whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast episode, whether that be morning, evening, or in the night. Welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I'm your host, Luke Dick. Now, remember, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating and also leave us a review. It helps out the show so immensely much. It really does. So please go ahead and do that if it is within your possibilities. Remember, you can actually respond to this week's episode by going to the description of the episode in Spotify, and there's a comment section, so you can leave a comment down below. You can either answer the question or just leave a general comment or whatever you feel like you want to do by exercising your human mental and rational autonomy. So go ahead and exercise that, because you have the power. I got the power! So, with that said, we also have a subreddit, so please go ahead and join our subreddit, r/Reddit Asks Us on Reddit, where you can join our subreddit, and there's a new mega thread posted every single week, so you can comment inside of that. And without further ado, why don't we just get the show on the friggin' road, man? The beginning of this podcast is always the same, so there's not much new there. If you listen to every other episode, you're gonna get the exact same intro. So call it consistency, but you know. You can also, if you listen to this podcast religiously, you can also skip the first, 2 minutes. So, we're going to read, so let's do the results from last week's Would You Rather, because we do a Would You Rather poll every single week. So last week's Would You Rather was, would you rather never taste again or never hear music again? And we had a overwhelming 75 to 25% win for never taste. So, I mean, that's super fair. Because imagine how awkward it would be at a dinner or at, an event, and it's just silence. It would be so awkward. All you can hear is just the clinging and clanging of utensils, and everyone's vibing, but you just can't vibe. There's no clubbing, there's no dancing. How could you not? You couldn't. There's no singing. Music is such a fundamental way to express yourself. So I feel like Food doesn't really quite do that, but it would be really tough to not be able to taste again, because god damn, there are so many foods that I love. I mean, this is the difficult part about living in the 21st century, and we'll talk about a little bit about this today on the podcast episode. But the difficult part is the fact that we just have access to so much, which is again amazing. We have all this great, cool technology that allows us to, my grandpa's grandpa probably never ate a banana in his entire life. I'm just kind of guessing, but bananas didn't get here until past the early 1900s in North America. You know what I'm saying? So we get the opportunity to eat things we get dragon fruit. What the fuck? Dragon fruit? If you would have told my great grandfather to eat a dragon fruit, I mean, I think he would assume that it's a fruit that turns you into the devil. I think he would assume that you would just that it's a Lucifer fruit. That is a fruit out of the Bible that is going to summon Lucifer, eating a dragon fruit. This, you know what I'm saying? This is we live with a lot of great technology, but the other side of that is that it's easy to indulge. It's definitely easy to indulge because fuck, man, I don't eat them all the time or eat these kinds of things all the time, but it does feel good when you eat chips, when you eat candy, when you eat fast food. Shit feels good. It tastes fucking good, bro. Have you ever had a Baconator? Have you literally ever had a Wendy's Baconator? Okay, you have not. You belong to smallest minority of human beings. I don't even care if you do it once in your life. You belong to the smallest minority of human beings who have ever been in the same vicinity as a Baconator. So if you don't take that opportunity to do that, to eat that, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're gonna live. You haven't lived a full life as a 21st century human if you haven't had access to a Baconator and also had the opportunity to eat it. Because, bro, I'm telling you, the shit's. I can see easily why people get addicted to that shit. I can 100% see why people get addicted to food, because, god damn, that shit hits. So, especially after you're like exhausted, like, especially like, and when I was in high school, like after football games, like you just grinded out a crazy football game. You're tired, you're beat up. You just like, let's just fucking hit a Wendy's after. Like, let's just get a fat fucking burger right now. That's all I want. And just like to roll in my bed and sleep for an entire day. So last week's episode was, how did you see someone mess around and find out? We got 2 comments this week, both from new commenters, so thank you guys for both commenting. First one comes from Spider Slayer. Hope you're doing well, and was going to mention softballs are worse than baseballs. Yeah, that was related to last week. I sadly tanked one to the face when I was 8 from a bad throw from to my big brother during practice. I was sitting on the bench on my DS when it hit me in the face. Dang. But for the answer for the question, I'd rather not listen to music anymore, since no longer tasting food would ruin that for me more than no music. Wow, okay, well, there you go. For the answer to that, I would just have to say random videos or podcasts in the background. Yeah, that's fair, bro. That's fair. Random videos. I mean, I do have my fair share of the YouTube algorithm taking over my consciousness, and I cannot eat without YouTube. So, it's those two kind of go hand in hand. I think YouTube and eating are mutually exclusive. Like, you literally just can't have one without the other. If I was forced, like, I like to go camping, but I haven't gone camping in a while. And next time I go, I'm going to have to eat without YouTube. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I don't know. I think I might crash out, dude. Like, I don't know if I can do it. That's going to be a serious test of my mental strength, is being able to sit there and eat around the campfire and just be like, I can't watch number 1 draft picks of all time on YouTube by fantasy phenoms. I can't watch Brandon Perna talk about the NFL draft. Well, then what's the point in eating? Why would I even eat? Why would I even bother putting food into my stomach? Next one comes from The Last Liver. Hello again, I'm a very new listener. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't have a story, but a fact. Australia had a war against emus that were destroying the crops and vegetation of farmers, and they lost. That's awesome, bro. I love how humans, we just always think we're so above nature, and it's like we literally couldn't even win a war against a giant bird. Like it's not even a bird that you think of and think like it's like a giant turkey. We couldn't win a war against giant turkeys. Like, bro, this is just, people think that they can take on a gorilla. Like this, there's this whole, I'm sure you guys have seen the whole, trend now about, I mean, it's been going on the internet forever, but it's revitalized once again. If 100 men can beat a gorilla. If we're just talking 100 dudes, I don't know if you've ever seen 100 people, actually, like 100 people in a photo. It's actually not that many people. 100 people is not a lot of people. A gorilla would tear through 100 people like it was a freaking piece of paper. Okay? Like, it's not even a competition. All right? A gorilla could easily rip how are you going to defeat it? Literally how? 100 people is not that many people, bro. We are cooked. You are so cooked. We can't even win a war against freaking emus, bro. They're literally giant turkeys, and we can't win a war. We're so screwed, man. For the would you rather, I would choose not tasting forever because my music has been my lifeline because of ADHD and my depression. I can't get rid of it. Yeah, fair enough. I understand that, especially, I mean, music definitely gets you through gets you through those moments, and like, I'm not talking just about depression specifically, but like, even when you're just down, like even when you're just feeling, just a little down and out, throwing on a little bit of cigarettes after sex to help process that emotion. Dude, I don't know if I could do it, bro. I don't know if I could go my life without listening to music, you know? I get down in the dumps every once in a while, and I need a little, you know, your lips, my lips, apocalypse. Come on, bro. You gotta let it out, man. You gotta cry. You gotta shed a couple tears. You gotta throw on the music, throw on the speaker, throw on the headphones, shed a couple tears, process a couple emotions, you know, and then just let it be. And then, you know, let your body do what it wants to do, okay? That's what I'm saying, man. It's all this thing about, oh, men don't cry. It's like, well, if you're fighting crying, it means your body obviously wants to cry. It means that's what you should be doing. You probably should be crying. I mean, I'm not saying you should be overreacting, but it's like breaking your leg and just being like, no, I don't need to see a doctor, bro. It's going to heal on its own, probably. It's like, heal on its own? Your fucking femur's broken, my guy. You should probably not, like, you should probably go to the doctor. It's like, your body's naturally, you're just force fighting a natural bodily response just because you don't want to shed water from your eyeballs. Like, feels a little bit of an overreaction to me. All right, folks, we're going to do the Would You Rather for this week. So the Would You Rather for this week is a fun one, guys. This is a great one. Sometimes it's always difficult to find some good Would You Rathers, but this one is good. Would you rather always look put together but smell awful, or look homeless but smell amazing? So I will let y'all sit with that for a few seconds through an ad break, and then we will be right back into today's episode.
So good, so good, so good.
Great gifts for mom? We've got them. And they're up to 60% off at Nordstrom Rack stores now.
You know they have Marc Jacobs?
Gotta show mom some love.
That is so good.
Snag amazing deals on Mother's Day gifts from Barefoot Dreams, Kate Spade New York, and more. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from the internet. We're going to hop right into today's episode. So as you can see from the episode title, what is the most unhealthy thing you've seen a human do? Now, we live in an age where there's cameras everywhere. Everything's being recorded. You can't get away with anything, all right? You pick your nose in a freaking hallway and you're cooked, man. Like you're not safe. All right? You might fucking, like, bro, not accusing, but even if you do something in silence, bro, even if you let a little tiny fart out in a library, you're fucked, man. You're fucked. Someone caught it on tape, bro. Someone's watching you with fucking heat vision goggles, the ones where it, detects different heat spots. It's like the vision of the predator. This is the society we live in, bro. People spend their money on shit like this. So it's not hard to come across people who are, it's like, damn, I don't think that was I can't say that choice is promoting. I'm not saying that anything before, but some people sometimes when people make unhealthy choices, it's like I can't say that that's gonna be. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't say your personal trainer is gonna be blowing up your phone telling you about how that's a great habit. You should stick to it. Methamphetamine doesn't tend to be the best pre-workout in the long term. So first one comes from iBike 2500. Someone turned off their oxygen tank so they could have a smoke. That's real dedication, bro. God damn, dude. That's like there's a character in The Sopranos who did that. He was just like, you know what? I mean, personally, I think the oxygen actually helps me smoke cigarettes, because now I don't need to breathe regular oxygen. I just get direct oxygen right through. So this is kind of a hack, actually. If you want to smoke the most cigarettes, if you want to smoke as many cigarettes as possible, just always have an oxygen tank and just breathe in direct oxygen into your face. Have a freaking Bane mask on you all the time. Well, I guess I can breathe fine now. I guess I can smoke a carton now of cigarettes. I hope you guys like my Bane voice. But, bro, I mean, that is that is straight up real dedication. Like, I just couldn't imagine being in that, you know, being the nurse or the doctor in that scenario, and the person's like, okay, well, you know, how do I remove this? Well, it's like, well, I mean, you're dying. Your lungs don't work right now. You know, why would you want to remove it? You know, like, it doesn't. That's gonna be horrible for you. That's probably one of the worst things you can do is remove your oxygen mask and turn off your oxygen tank. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Why would you want to do that, dude? Like, how am I supposed to get through this trying time having to be strapped to this freaking oxygen mask without a freaking cigarette, dude? I need to calm my nerves, dude. All this health stuff you guys are getting in my face, telling me all about, I'm so unhealthy. I'm going to die soon. I have lung cancer. If I smoke another cigarette, it's going to be the end of my life. You're telling me all this stuff, and you're telling me I can't, with that information, smoke a little cig? I need to take the edge off. How else am I supposed to process this information? You tell me I have lung cancer from smoking, and I literally process everything with a cigarette. Okay, so I think you guys need to just kind of check your recommendations, check your diagnosis, because I don't know, cigarettes help me. Cigarettes make me feel way better. You should see me when I don't have a cigarette. You don't want to be around me when I don't have a cigarette. Okay, it's not good. Okay, so I think this should be part of my my treatment plan. Is just stick me in this room, just give me my oxygen, a carton of cigarettes, and I'm gonna be, man, the edge will be blown away. It's not even gonna be taken off. It is not even gonna be in the vicinity of the area. Next one comes from Meet the Meat. There was this player at a casino. This is already great, right off to a great start. There was this player at a casino who used to come in his mobile scooter, order a Red Bull and vodka over and over, smoke unfiltered Camels, and play 3 video poker machines at a time for 36 to 48 hours. He weighed 380 pounds at least, hated the entire world, and ordered food only from the fried chicken place. One day, I went to wake him up, and he was dead. So I'd probably go with that. Oh, man. I mean... It's, you know, I wonder how long he sat there. Like, I'm just thinking, like, because, you know, it's not, you know, they've probably seen it before. It's not like this is a rare occurrence. You know, bro is ripping the vodka and Red Bulls, smoking unfiltered cigarettes, you know, and eating fried chicken. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say he probably doesn't, like, the casino is probably one of the only places he actually goes to. Is this a dude? Yeah, him. It goes to in his life. So, you know, I would imagine the casino's got their own little wake up stick, you know, just to make sure he's there. And then one day, you know, I couldn't, I mean, honestly, this is so terrible. You could probably have a whole money line on the casino on whether you poke him with that stick and he's gonna be dead. Like there was probably a whole group of people waiting for this guy to croak, because it's only a matter of time, dude. Like, I hate to break it to this guy, but This is not a life-sustaining lifestyle. This is not a longevity. We're not looking for immortality here in this lifestyle. Especially with it's not only are you just like eating horribly, smoking, and drinking alcohol, and also with every alcoholic drink you're pairing with a bunch of caffeine, but you're also losing everything you ever had and will have. You're accumulating so much debt that it's like you have nothing, and that is only stressing you out. I don't think bro, I will always go back to this. I have every time, like, I went to my first time ever really being in and around casinos was when I went to Las Vegas a few years ago with my family. And, it was just a way to, see some nice weather, go to some shows, and just, enjoy whatever. We're not gamblers. We're not a gambling family, so none of us gamble. And, it was like the only like way that I can describe the vibe of a casino, especially when we went, because it was in April, so it was like playoff sports. It was like end of April, so it was around this time, end of April, early May. So it was playoffs. The only word that can describe the vibe in the casino is just pure desperation. There are dudes watching those games like their third mortgage on their house depends on it. Like it is just, I can't imagine that going to a casino and like spending your time there all the time is a stress-free situation. This strikes me as like, not only you're downing the booze and the caffeine and the cigarettes, like every time you lose all your money, you're just back to drinking, smoking, and eating. So this is, can't say that this is a recipe for immortality for bro here, but that's insane. Especially the video poker machines. I feel like aren't those just already a scam? Like, aren't those just all like the what is it, the slot machines and stuff in the video whatever? First of all, those things are more confusing than trying to teach your 80-year-old grandparents how to use an iPhone. Okay? I look at one of those video gambling machines and I'm thinking to myself, this looks like I could, by the time I'm done figuring this out, that I could cure freaking cancer. Okay? I could probably design a system of aqueducts after in a industrial sized city after trying to figure out a freaking video slot machine. Like, whatever happened to you pull the lever and it's just 7, 7, and 7. Now it's like you got tigers on there, and there's like, and for some reason Yosemite Sam is here also. Like, why? And like SpongeBob? What is SpongeBob doing here? What does SpongeBob have to do with gambling my life savings away? What does SpongeBob have to do with hitting on this next round? Like, I don't see the connection here. What, this is Bikini Bottom bets? Like, Bikini Bottom blackjack? What are we doing here? Like, this is under the sea slots. Like, why? I don't, like, it looks so gimmicky. Every time I pull up to the casino, I don't really pull up to the casino, but every time I've been there, and even in a bar and you see the VLTs, it's like, it looks so ridiculous. Like, there's like this cartoon drawing of like a GTA girl with her boobs out, and I'm like, and it's like, is this supposed to get me? Like, you're like, I don't understand what the allure here, what the attraction is here. You're thinking I'm gonna be like, wow, cartoon titties? Yo, let me gamble all my money, dude. Let me just empty my bank account, bro. Let me hit the frickin' ATM, dude. Cartoon biddies on this lady? Damn. Like, I'm thinking, what the fuck, dude? What is, like, what? And the jungle theme. Why are they all jungle themed? Like, a casino couldn't be the farthest place from a frickin' jungle, okay? Like, the only thing that a jungle has in common with a casino is you're gambling your life away when you enter one. Like, I don't know if that's the connection here, or that's the underlying sort of presence going on, but that's what they're subtly, subliminally trying to tell you, is you're wasting your life. You are endangering yourself when you enter this environment. Like, oh man, okay, I gotta move on to the next one. I've been going off on this. Next one comes from Leah Serene. Saw a guy chase 6 energy drinks with a cigarette and call it breakfast while saying sleep is a scam. I'm convinced his organs have a group chat to plan their escape. Dude, I'm telling you right now, escape to where, bro? Ain't nobody can use those organs, bro. Ain't no one's gonna use those organs. The doctor's gonna look at these organs and be like, God damn. This guy's the guy who should be needing the organs, not donating them. We need to get this should be our candidate for a freaking transplant here, bro. This guy needs a entirely new freaking engine and hood. He needs everything, bro. This guy's lost it all. He shouldn't be donating. If he donates anything, that should be a crime against humanity. If we find out that this guy donated his kidney to somebody, he needs to be arrested. He needs to be put in jail. That's manslaughter. Okay, that's murder. Okay, that's like second degree murder, bro. You just like you're trying to be helpful, but you just killed a person. That is insane. Sleep is a scam? Invented by who? Big brain? Big like what's the big health? Big evolution? Is that what, like big biology? Sleep is a scam invented by big biology. Like, what are you talking about? Sleep is who? Bro. So who was telling people sleep was a scam before TV and before the internet? It's like, well, see, that's what Obama wants to do. All right, and Obama, he wants to convince you that you should be sleeping. Now, you can sleep all you want, but I ain't gonna sleep. All right? I ain't gonna sleep at all. I feel like I'm just making a horrible caricature of a Republican conservative person, but being a conspiracy theorist. But kind of though, like, you know, it's like, bro, what, are we really? We're going with the Obama, the Democrats. The Democrats want you to sleep. What do you think they do at night? You think they're lizard people, so they don't have to sleep because they just morph into that lizard guy from Spider-Man, and they don't need sleep. They simply just do not need it. But sleep is a scam, bro. This guy is definitely you don't come up with that conclusion without basically conditioning yourself and inducing yourself into schizophrenia. Like you kind of have to at that point. Like if you're staying up purposely because you believe that sleep is a scam, like you've just congratulations, you've just given yourself one of the worst mental illnesses you could possibly have. With, by the way, irreversible effects. I actually looked this up one time, like what happens if you go like a long period of time without sleeping. You will have irreversible effects. I actually saw a couple of posts on Reddit one time that this guy, he tried like doing this experiment. He was like, I just thought to myself, well, I mean, screw it. Like, why not? Like, let's give it a shot. Like, I'm crazy. I obviously know I need sleep, but just for a social experiment or whatever, I'm just going to try not sleeping. I'm pretty sure bro said he didn't sleep for like 20 days or something like that. And he was like, I have irreversible insomnia and basically have induced perpetual paranoia. I am not the same. Like, I regret it. Like, this is what happens when we don't let people go to sleep. So I'm not surprised that the irony of this too is that he's like, he smokes cigarettes and yet says sleep is a scam. So you don't think that there's like a giant lobby behind, cigarettes that are enticing you to keep smoking them? This was a giant thing in the 90s. You're focused on the wrong conspiracy here, my guy. Okay? The real conspiracy is not that going to bed, a natural human biological bodily function, is somehow a conspiracy theory. You want to know the real conspiracy theory? is the fact that the cigarette companies were like paying government officials to not release the results of studies that were saying cigarettes cause cancer. They were trying to get doctors to actively endorse cigarettes as a health measure. They were actively the tobacco, the big tobacco lobby was lobbying doctors to be like, don't listen to all these double-blind studies saying that randomized double-blind studies that cigarettes cause cancer, because they actually prevent it. I think, like if I know anything about health and cigarettes, I wouldn't believe these randomized double-blind studies. I would say that they're actually good for you. You're stressed? Smoke a carton of cigarettes. I particularly choose Camels as my cigarette of choice. Camels. Smoke every day. Don't ever stop. If you want to be relieved of stress, smoke every day. That's their slogan.
16 years from today, Greg Gerstner will finally land the perfect cannonball. Epic splash. Unsuspecting friends. A work of art only possible because Greg is already meeting all these same people at AARP volunteer and community events that keep him active and involved and help make sure his happiness lives as long as he does. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/local.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
Next one comes from Temporary Potato 130. I once saw a guy spraying spray paint in his mouth to get high. Normally when people do this, they would use some fabric to filter everything except the gas. But well, he didn't, and his mouth was sprayed in black paint. Wouldn't recommend getting high like that either way. Something seems sus about how you would know that you need a cloth. Bro's just trying to tell us he doesn't huff paint. No, because if you're trying to get super freaking duper high, you would obviously need like a cloth or like preferably something like an N95 that can filter out the paint. You're obviously going to want to remove the little head on the spray paint can. I'm just bullshitting. Actually, I have no idea. Like how do you know that, dude? Why would you know that information? Why would you know how to huff paint? Like that seems like oddly specific information to know. Dude, like, it's general knowledge, bro. Everyone, like, come on, bro. You're not telling me that you just grew up not just knowing, like, how to huff paint? It seems like pretty basic societal knowledge that I feel like everybody learns growing up. It's it's socially conditioned, right? It's like learning your manners, right? It's like learning social cues, right? You just kind of pick this kind of stuff up, and then you just learn, never to interrupt another person. Don't put your elbows on the table. How to smoke a pack of cigarettes. How to huff a bunch of paint. How to boil down cocaine into crack. Like this is, you obviously didn't have a good childhood. You didn't have a proper childhood if you didn't learn these things. Okay, these are kind of fundamental. The bar is low type of socially conditioned behaviors. Yeah, bro. So that's a tough one to be going on about. But bro was just trying to cut to the chase, man. This is insane. Like, it literally has a giant image on a can of spray paint with a freaking skull and crossbones, dude. Like, I don't know how else you can convey to somebody not to ingest paint. Like, okay, people huff paint, all right? People don't spray it into their mouths. Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, is there some sort of like ulterior motive here? Are you just like trying to create like a black hole in your mouth? It's like, you know what? I don't really like the color of teeth. Guys, hear me out. What if teeth we're black instead of white. I feel like that's kind of, what if we just spray painted our mouths? Like, you open your mouth, it's not very aesthetically pleasing. All right, it's like a pinkish and just gums and a uvula, and you got teeth and they're white like that, and they're so noticeable. Like, I think we can spend some time devising a way to just bring some liveliness, spraying spray paint into our mouths, just to bring a new flair, just to bring a new flavor and a new flair into the mouth. I feel like no one's ever done this before. I feel like no one's ever sat back and critically thought like, maybe we should change the color of the mouth. We tattoo our bodies, right? Am I right? We tattoo all sorts of colors on our skin. We change the color of our hair. We change the color of what else do we change the color of? Our eyebrows. We do a bunch of body modifications. I'm thinking this is an untapped market here. Maybe you can start a business spray painting people's mouths, right? Just to get a different look, right? Just to get a different vibe going on. Just letting people know, hey, I'm aesthetic. Like, I'm aesthetically gifted. All right, I'm different than everybody else. Okay, I've got a different sense of art and artisticness than you guys do. Okay, I go and venture beyond and push it to the limits, beyond the limits of what you think is possible with how you conceive about the human being. I'm practically Leonardo da Vinci. Oh yeah, I'm fucking Leonardo da Vinci. Next one comes from Contrarian Swift. Pour Mountain Dew into a baby bottle and hand it to the toddler. Bro. Oh, man. I can't say your pediatrician is going to endorse that. I can't say your pediatrician, make sure they're getting in their fruits, their vegetables. You don't want to overdo it with the grains, but make sure they are getting whole grains. So whole wheat, if they're having cereal, make sure it's whole wheat cereal. And other than that, right. Don't forget about a 2 liter of Mountain Dew every morning. Make sure they crush a 2 liter of Mountain Dew every single day. Honestly, the more the better, right? At 4 liters, if you can get them up to that much, basically just replace every liquid that they could possibly ingest. Like, I know that your baby is still breastfeeding, but I don't know. There's devices out there that replicate the nipple, and I think that you can put formula in and stuff. And I think you should probably just go with just straight up Mountain Dew in there. Honestly, maybe you should even just boil it down to its rudimentary compounds and just inject that directly into your baby. I think that's because how are we supposed to give birth to the next generation of fired up individuals who are just ready to frickin' get after it? I think the only way to do that is we need to stimulate them. We need stimulation from the beginning. We need to put an iPad. We need to have Apple's AR goggles, whatever those frickin' things are called. We need to have the frickin' what are those VR goggles called, dude? The Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, every baby needs to have an Apple Vision Pro just as soon as they come out of the womb. Just a baby-sized Apple Vision Pro streaming multiple things at once. Streaming video games, streaming streams online, streaming TV, multiple shows, streaming NFL sports. We need basketball, soccer. We need constant stimulation for these children, because that way, when they don't have stimulation, they're going to be super motivated to get it. So then they're just going to come up with a lot of innovative ways to just get and receive that brain activity, right? We're activating the brain. We're unleashing that 10% of the brain that we don't use. We're just the way to unleash that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that what is that Limitless, that movie with Bradley Cooper. I mean, you want to be limitless? Shove as much content into your consciousness as possible, okay? That's how you bridge the gap. It's not by taking some pill, it's not by hooking yourself up to some, future scientific machine. It is literally just shoving as much content into your mind and brain as possible. Just scrolling, Reels, TikTok, we need just multi-screens, the AR, TikTok, Reels, just right from the beginning, just automatically scrolling for them. This is, we need to get them those chairs from Wall-E so that they never have to walk again and they can piss and shit in the chair. This seems to me, and they can get food, they can be moving, floating, levitating around, and food just delivered to them, and just, they don't even need to eat it. They can put a hole in their stomach so that it just puts the food, injects it directly in. This seems like a pretty awesome idea to me. Reply from Eric and Nicole. 1, 2, 3, 4. I worked at Starbucks. One that will stay with me was the day that a mom ordered a coffee-based Frappuccino for her 2-year-old. And the sticker said personal cup. And the personal cup was a sippy cup because she wouldn't drink it otherwise. So why are you force-feeding your toddler a Frappuccino? Bro, I mean, if the kid doesn't develop a taste for good coffee at a young age, I mean, Starbucks is shitty, I guess, according to most people that I know, but the kid needs to know their beans. All right, we need to be making sure that the kids are aware of the beans at a young age, so that they can tell the difference. Right. This is why it's I got my kids drinking beer. We're going right now from Smirnoff to Ciroc. So we're making steps, baby steps. Well, if you please, baby steps. No pun intended. But we're making baby steps, so we're starting with the Smirnoff, the really crappy stuff, but we're slowly moving our way up. We're going to get up to Ciroc, get the Grey Goose going, and soon enough, our baby's going to have a well-tailored and well-seasoned palate, well-experienced palate, so they can tell my baby, by the time that my kid is 5 years old, he should be able to dissect a glass of whiskey. Okay, he should be able to determine, they should be able to determine how many drops of bitters do we need for this old fashioned to really bring out that smokiness, that charcoaly aged barrel flavor here. We're prepping them to be adults, okay? We need to prep them to get working, all right? How are we supposed to, we need to get this kid with the coffee in hand, at TikTok on one side and learning Excel on the other. Just making spreadsheets in Excel. This is how are we supposed to educate our youth, dude. Next one is from Will Wright for Tacos. I once watched someone with a food addiction shove food into their mouth so fast they hadn't chewed what was already in there, and some fellow, when they open their mouth to take more bites, they kind of shoved the food in with their fingers and a kind of compacting it so they could chew. Oh my God, this is horrifying. They were also shaking the entire time because they could barely do it, snorting because they could barely breathe. It was horrific. Reply from Barrett Trooper. Yes, we've all been to Golden Corral. Golden Corral, I've never been there. I don't even really know what it is. Isn't it like a seafood buffet, I think? I'm pretty sure. But it just sounds like the most American thing ever. Golden Corral. What is this? The closest one to me is in Rochester, New York, which is very far away. Why is Golden Corral? For a value for a good price. Okay. They serve all kinds of nutrition as low carb, vegan, paleo, plant. What is this place? This is a buffet. Endless buffet. This place is an endless buffet? Eat as all you can eat? Bro, what? Oh, man, this is just peak America. Oh, my God. Yo, guys, I'm looking at pictures. Bro, this is crazy. The whole place is just giant buffet things. just heat lamps and buffet trays and everywhere, dude. This place is... How does this place exist and not every person in America weigh 500 pounds? This is ridiculous. They've got different sections for buffet. So, like, there's a whole set of heat lamps and buffet trays for, like, an entire cuisine. There's, like, fresh produce, an Italian, like, chicken. What the hell, dude? This is insane. Oh, my God, bro. This plate is devious, dude. I'm looking at someone's Golden Corral plate. It has a pepperoni pizza, eggs, scrambled eggs, a burger, biscuits, ham, and bacon. Bro. If I went to this place, I literally don't think I would ever leave alive. Like, I think that I would die from cardiac arrest within spending, 45 minutes in a place like this. This is just... Wait, is there one in Toronto? Dude, I'm like planning a trip to Toronto so I can go here. This is terrible. This is so... Oh, man. It's just... the wonders of the modern world. That's crazy, dude. Oh. Next one comes from Literally I Am a Mistake. Maybe this will be our last one. I was behind a person in a drive-thru once. She was on an SUV and it sagged to the driver's side, half expecting the suspension to break. She ordered a medium ranch dressing. What? The person taking the order was understandably confused, so the lady figured it would help to scream her order. That's always... When someone doesn't hear you, it always helps to really condescendingly scream at the other person because they didn't hear what you said. She ordered it, yeah. So finally she said a medium drink cup filled with ranch dressing. Oh, that makes me want to throw up. She pulled over to the side after she got her food. I passed her on my way out, and she was taking a huge bite of her burger and drinking the ranch as chaser, bro! Oh my God! Yo, that is diabolical, dude. Drinking your ranch as your drink? Ranch? Dude, ranch is so, like... I know people vehemently defend ranch. I do not like it. I am not a ranch person. But you got to admit, even if you're a staunch fan of ranch, you can't tell me you're ordering ranch and drinking it like it's freaking Diet Coke, okay? Like, you cannot be ordering ranch as your meal drink, bro. That is just insane. Oh. And then they say, I have not eaten ranch dressing to this day. Bro, I don't even think I could look at ranch dressing. I don't think I'm gonna go... If I saw someone do that, I would not only throw up immediately, but I also think that I don't think I could ever look at a bottle of ranch dressing without getting just visibly sick. That is so ridiculous, dude. Like, okay, Diet Coke is bad, and Coke and soda is bad, but drinking a cup of... oh, sorry, guys. Oh my God, I actually gagged. Drinking that, it honestly might be 10 times worse. Like, it's just, there's no universe in which you can justify that that's good. It's like, no, it's drinking a cup of ranch for you every day is actually like, it's great, promotes your body's ability to just, keep your heart alive. It's holding on with every last freaking vessel in the entirety. Okay, we're gonna cap it off there for today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I'll see y'all next week. Peace out. Love you. Goodbye.